But tonight, though, we turn to the Prime Minister, who's pleaded with business and union leaders to talk up the economy or risk losing foreign investment. While the opposition wrote off the Economic Forum as a meaningless sideshow to boost the PM's political fortunes, Julia Gillard told her audience that it was in their own financial best interests to boost confidence. Political correspondent Tommy Goodwin has more from Canberra.
Last week's strong economic numbers failed to give the government a lift in a news poll published today, and tonight even the Prime Minister's Economic Forum's been somewhat overshadowed by the arrival of pop star Lady Gaga, who's staying at the same hotel.
I just prefer Lady Gaga. She's I can't explain.
As the Prime Minister and her entourage took their show to the stage.
OK, if we could take our seats, please. There'll be plenty of time for chatting later.
One theme got high rotation airplay.
I've got great confidence in Australia, long-term confidence in our country. Australians should be confident. It does give me great confidence in our economic future to see all of you here tonight.
There was one notable absence at the Brisbane Hotel ballroom, though. Queensland Premier Campbell Newman.
What's the point of going to a carefully staged, managed, choreographed event which is just about trying to conscript people into supporting policies they don't agree with?
And while the Prime Minister did tell forum attendees from businesses and unions she was there to hear from them,
I'm especially keen to hear your thoughts on competitiveness.
That wasn't the thrust of tonight's speech.
It's just as important that we all leave here tomorrow determined to speak up for our economy, to speak up for the facts. The bad news from overseas is making more noise at the moment than hailstones on a tin roof.
And it wasn't just all that imported noise the Prime Minister's worried about. She took aim at the local variety as well, and those who've picked holes in last week's strong national accounts figures.
And it's quite false to say that this was built only on mining. Consumer spending was measurably stronger this first quarter than last year. And there's a message in that for those who continue to jawbone the country down.
And lest attendees think it was more in her interest to talk up the economy than theirs, the Prime Minister told them there was something in it for them too.
We know it's in the interests of business that confidence grows. We know it's in the interests of working people that confidence grows too. We all need investment to flow, we all need jobs to grow, we all need consumers to spend.
The program for the final day of the Economic Forum tomorrow reads like a cabinet roll call. There are two speeches from the Prime Minister, one from the Treasurer and one each from the Ministers of Trade, Transport, Industry, Skills and Finance. In fact, the only non-government speaker is the Reserve Bank Governor, Glenn Stevens. But there could soon be a new voice in the political debate in Canberra. Western Australian Treasurer Christian Porter's making a surprise move to the back bench so he can focus on contesting the next federal election.
In this game, you have to be absolutely honest with yourself. If you're going to commit to politics, you've got to make sure that you're committing on your terms and in a way that you think you can make the most meaningful contribution.
I did try and persuade him to change his mind over the weekend. I thought he probably could have at least one more term in state politics.
I am really thrilled and encouraged that people of great quality like Christian Porter are putting their hands up to run for the coalition at the next federal election.
Once touted as a future Premier and successor to the long-serving Liberal leader Colin Barnett, the loss of Mr Porter will leave a hole in Perth and raise questions in Canberra.
Who would you get rid of if he is put on the front bench?
Well, the point I'm making is that I would welcome Christian Porter in Canberra.
A more competitive environment, just as the Prime Minister envisaged. Tom Iggulden, Lateline.